RIT Sports Network proudly welcomes you to the Rochester Institute of Technology and the Gene Policini Center, where tonight it's an Atlantic Hockey America matchup as the hometown RIT Tigers host red hot Holy Cross. Last night, John Gillette and the Crusaders, they crushed the Tigers as Gillette scored 4 times to help lead Holy Cross to their 7th consecutive victory. Good evening and welcome to RIT Hockey Pregame Live here on the RIT Sports Network. Well, it is safe to say it was a rough one last night for the Tigers, and that would certainly be an understatement as RIT not only endured its worst loss of the season, but its most lopsided result since a 9-5 loss to Sacred Heart back in 2019. Let's recap it for you. First period, we pick up the action, not even 3 minutes in. Holy Cross got right to work from the blue line. It's going to be Will Troutwine. The blast right there, and the deflection by John Gillette by Jakub Kurbacek, his 4th of the year, 1-0 Crusaders. Minutes later, one of the league's top players, Liam McClinsky, a thorn in the Tigers' side for years, skating up the near side and putting it up and over Kuba's shoulder, his 18th of the season, and just like that, it was 2-0 Holy Cross. Things would get worse for RIT Crusaders with their first power play of the night, and watch John Gillette, left unattended on the near side, sneaks in and scores his 2nd of the night, 3-0 Holy Cross with 10:56 to go in the first. Tigers had multiple grade A looks early, but didn't get rewarded until late in the period. Tyler Fukakusa the shot, Matthew Wild the deflection, his team leading 14th. Tigers on the board down 3-1, but just 27 seconds later, momentum gone just like that as Jack Stockfish skating around, comes in the slot, and nobody touches him. Easily scores a total breakdown there for the Tigers, and they were down 4-1, and it would get worse after a 5-minute major on Xavier Lapointe and a game misconduct for contact to the head. Holy Cross on the power play again, and it's Gillette again, the hat trick. In the first period, it was 5-1. The 5-minute major continued. Holy Cross continued to do damage. Timothy Heineke scores. They'd add another 4 power play goals in the first period alone. It was 7-1 after one. Second period, Ethan David in the net for RIT in relief of Kuba. And here come the Crusaders up the ice, and guess who? John Gillette again. 4 goals on the night for him. The Tigers get walloped by a final of 9-2 as we take a look. Both teams combined for an eye-popping 19 penalties and 92 penalty minutes. Holy Cross finished with 5 power play goals on 12 attempts, the most allowed by RIT since its first season of Division I hockey back in 2005. Gillette's 4 goals broke the Holy Cross program record for most goals in a game, and his hat trick was the first of his career. Well, the Tigers will be without Christian Catalano again tonight, and defenseman Tristan Ellen. Both are serving league suspensions. With that in mind, the Tigers will look to pick up the pieces, avoid the sweep, and salvage the weekend here tonight. We have both sides of the ice covered for you. We begin with RIT head coach Wayne Wilson, who's with our John DiTullio. John?
All right, Kevin, thanks so much. All right, buddy, last night in the postgame, you told Kim that you were embarrassed with your team's performance. So what was the message to your team, not only after last night's game, but prior to taking the ice?
Well, we've been talking about penalties here for a while, and we want to be 3 or less, and 12 doesn't quite, that's not even in the same zip code here. So, yeah, it's when you start, we're putting ourselves ahead of the team, that's when you run into trouble. And I thought we still had a pretty good first period. I thought we outgraded them in the first 10 or so, but boom, the wheels, we take a 5-minute, the wheels fell off, and there went the game. And that's twice that's happened to us, and because of penalties, and we didn't even rectify that after that. We got a 5-minute late in the game, but we got a numerous 2-minute lazy penalties, and just penalties that are unnecessary, weren't preventing goals behind the play, just not smart hockey.
How surprised were you by that? Coming off a pretty good weekend at Air Force, this is a big series against a good team. How surprised were you on the lack of execution from your club?
Well, exactly what you said there. I mean, we came off a good weekend. We had a great week of practice. Yeah. I was expecting way more, and just felt like I was let down, and just by our undiscipline and penalties, and because a 5-on-5 play wasn't too bad. I mean, once the game was out of hand, it was over. We know that, but we've got to stay out of the box and give ourselves a chance. It doesn't guarantee you anything either. we were facing good teams. But to give ourselves a chance, we've got to stay out of the box.
And tonight you are shorthanded. Catalano's out, Allen's out of last night, so you got to move some things around. So you want to win, but you are shorthanded tonight.
Right, and so not only did we take poor penalties that affected us in those particular games that they were playing in, it affects the games afterwards that they're not available for us to play. So Catalano for this weekend and Tristan for tonight's game. So the lasting effects of those type of penalties continue. But we'll move on and without them, and we hope for much better play and much better discipline.
One bright spot was at Ethan's play last night. He's starting tonight. How would you assess how he played?
No, they've both been actually good for us. And I know that was not a good game for, for our starter, but, like they're freshmen and they're not able to, right now they haven't been able to string 4 or 5 games together. They've been able to string a few games together. So I'd like to get Ethan in here and then see what he can do for a couple of games, and then we may rotate him. And I think that might be the formula for us, best formula for us. But, we'll go from there.
Besides staying out of the box, what else do you want to see tonight? What else is a big key to get points tonight versus a very good club?
Yeah, we tweaked our penalty killing just a little bit, but it wasn't really our systematic penalty kill. It was some other things there. We've got to be willing to block more shots and get our bodies in front of things. So, but no, for tonight it was hard to judge off of last night because we were shorthanded so often. When you're 12 penalties and a 5-minute one in there and a 5-on-3, that's half the game. So there's just a couple things we looked at with forechecks and even our breakouts, and we never really got to look at our power play that much for one opportunity. But there's just a couple things we'll tweak for tonight. I
know tonight's for a great cause. You look great in the I wanted to wear pink. I got denied. Kim and Jean would not allow me to wear it, buddy.
Yeah, well, I think you'd look good in pink, but we'll leave it at that.
That's head coach Wayne Wilson for a preview of Holy Cross. Here's my partner, Gene Battaglia. Gino?
All right, thanks, Johnny, here with head coach Bill Riga of the Crusaders. And as we were just talking, 9 goals last night, but last night was last night. Tonight's a new night. How are you, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think, looking at the video, the game could have been a lot different had they scored on a couple chances the first 5-6 minutes of the game. Our goaltender was great and enabled us to kind of, get a couple goals there and take advantage of our power play. And I don't know if I've ever been a part of a period that ended up with 7 goals like that before. So it's kind of an interesting way to approach the second and third period. But like you said, I expect their best tonight. And last night's over. Today we're wearing black, they're wearing pink, and we'll start new.
Yeah, as far as that 7-goal period, you had a guy with a hat trick, 4 goals overall for John Gillette, kind of a guy that plays some different roles for your team. Great
penalty killer, great defensively. He's played center, he's played wing, just does everything we ask him to do. He's heavy, he's thick, he's older. And last night he's in that spot on the power play because one of our regulars there, Phillips, is injured, and he just did what he was told. He stood in the right place and took advantage of his opportunities, and I'm really happy for him.
All right, T, committing penalties last night, 12 power play. Got a little chippy at the end. Is there any concern that might carry over to this afternoon?
I think both teams have addressed it and talked about it and want to avoid it. I think the danger is if something does happen, everyone's on high alert a little bit, so things could get a little escalated quicker. But our focus tonight, at least on our end, is to play hockey and try to achieve something bigger the last few games of the regular season.
Now, we're on flow hockey right now. We're on the big stick on Nesson. Do guys kind of pick themselves knowing that everybody back home is going to be watching her?
I hope so. I hope it makes us better. I think we have a 10-game carve-out, so we're on there quite a bit. So we're a little bit used to it. But it's good for people in our region to see Atlantic hockey and to see Holy Cross. And I know we have a lot of other teams in different leagues in our area, but I think it's good exposure for our program and for our league.
Yeah. And you're staying over tonight in Rochester. Any advice here where to go after the game here?
Oh, my wife's got that covered. It'll be date night then, I guess, tonight after for her birthday. So looking forward to spending some time out with family.
He's class act here at Holy Cross, Bill Riga. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Kevin, we send it back to you.
All right, Gino, thanks so much. Well, last night in Atlantic Hockey America, Air Force handed Canisius its 3rd straight loss following a 5-3 victory over the Griffs, while AIC shut out Mercyhurst 5-0. How about Sacred Heart? We have the highlights at Army down at West Point on Friday. The Pioneers opened the night atop the AHA with a 5-point lead over Holy Cross. We pick it up in the second, tied at 1. Army with the 2-man advantage, and they execute the power play to perfection, or Sacred Heart had the two-man. Mikey Adamson scores the go-ahead goal. 2-1 Pioneers. Closing minutes of the second, Army's Jack Ivey to Vincent Solis. He gets the equalizer. Army and Sacred Heart would go to a shootout. In the sudden death shootout, the Black Knights with a chance to win it. And they do right there. Dylan Wegner scores. Army takes 2 of the 3 points against the Pioneers. A big victory. Lara, they tied, but the big shootout win last night. How about Robert Morris and Bentley scoreless in the third period when we pick up the action? Falcons dig the puck out, and Nick Bochin slides it to Ryan Mansfield, who skates in on Dawson Smith and fires it past him. That's all Bentley would need last night as Connor Hasley stopped all 19 shots he faced. Falcons shut out Robert Morris 1-0. So here is how things stack up at the moment in Atlantic Hockey America. Sacred Heart picks up just 1 point last night, so their lead is now down to just 3 over the surging Crusaders. Bentley is 4 back. Niagara off this weekend is 4th, while Army is 5th. The top 5 earn first-round byes in next month's playoffs, while seeds 6 through 11 will meet March 1st in a 1-game playoff. Well, still to come here on Pregame Live, the Tigers have turned the rink pink tonight. We'll share how you can get your hands on those jerseys and help in the fight against breast cancer. Plus, Celeste Brown and the RIT women's hockey team look to tie a Division I program record for wins this afternoon. We'll show you how they fared out at Lindenwood. But first, number 14 for RIT is Tyler Mahan, the junior forward from Calgary, Alberta, is hoping to help the Tigers earn a split here tonight. Mahan will join our Kim Coffey live next as our coverage continues from the Gene Policini Center in Rochester, New York. RIT and Holy Cross at 5:05. This is Pregame Live on the RIT Sports Network. Back here on Pregame Live, RIT and Holy Cross tonight at 5:05. The Tigers and their fans wearing pink to benefit the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. More on that coming up later in the show. On the Atlantic Hockey scoreboard, we have 3 games already in progress. Sacred Heart leads Army 1-0. Air Force, Canisius, AIC, Mercyhurst scoreless. RMU Bentley gets started later tonight. In the net for Holy Cross will once again be number 33, Thomas Gale. The senior from Kirkland, Quebec, will make his 29th start of the season after picking up his 16th victory last night with 18 saves over the first 2 periods. For RIT head coach Wayne Wilson will go with number 40, Ethan David. The first year from Vancouver played the second and third periods last night, allowing 2 goals on 19 shots. Tonight will be just his 4th start of the season. Ethan David 1-2-0 with a 3.63 goals against. Well, there's no question that the Tigers' top line of Wild, Fukukusa, and Catalano has done the heavy lifting when it comes to scoring this season. The Tigers are in search of secondary scoring, and one guy they are really hoping to get going is junior Tyler Mahan, who has just 4 points so far this year on 2 goals and 2 assists. The Calgary native has wrapped up his warm-up, and he's with our Kim Coffey now. Kim?
Tyler, first of all, you guys are coming off a tough loss, but I know, new day, new game, refresh. How are you guys feeling? What's the feeling in the locker room like heading into tonight?
Last night we put it to bed, and we're just going to get out there and just work hard and try and just do our thing. Yeah.
Penalties definitely a factor in getting any momentum going for you guys last night. What's going to be the key tonight to controlling those emotions, staying out of the box?
Just moving our feet, just making sure we're on top of the puck at all times, and just making sure that we get the puck out of our own end. Yeah.
Any adjustments you guys are hoping to see here early in the game, making sure you guys are the ones that score first?
Really, it's just making sure we stay in our own D zone, making sure we stay on top of pucks, and just work hard as hard as we can all the time.
Tyler, thanks so much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Kevin?
All right, Kim, thank you so much. Meanwhile, the RIT women's hockey team entered the day looking to do something they haven't done at the Division I level since their head coach Celeste Brown was in a Tiger uniform, and that's win 15 games in a season. Tigers looking for the sweep out at Lindenwood in St. Louis this afternoon. We have the highlights. First period under 4 minutes to play here off the face-off. The puck comes right to Jordan Bear, who uses the traffic in front and scores her 7th of the season. Tigers led 1-0 after 1. Started the second, Tigers on the 5-on-3 power play to start the period. Puck drops to center ice, and the Tigers immediately gain the zone, and they score. Kylie Aquara, just 11 seconds in, gives the Tigers a 2-goal lead. Under 7 minutes to play in the second, Lindenwood, they got sloppy here, and they turn it over to Kyla Bear, who races the other way, and Kyla scores her 5th goal in the last 5 games, 3-0 RIT. The Tigers blow that 3-goal lead. They go to overtime, and guess who scores? Kyla Bear, she wins it for the Tigers just over 2 minutes into the extra session. Tigers victorious today by a final of 4-3 as we look inside the numbers for Kyla Bear. She scores her 7th and 8th goals on the season. She has been on fire in the last 5 games. Tigers pick up their 15th win on the season and finish the road trip with 5 out of a possible 6 points in the standings. They'll wrap up the regular season on home ice next weekend against 8th-ranked Penn State. Speaking of the Nittany Lions, first loss in the conference so far this year. They clinched the regular season title with a victory last night over Mercyhurst. Today they lose their first conference game of the season, 3-2 to the Lakers. Syracuse leads Robert Morris 3-1, that one heading to the 3rd. Well, still to come here on Pregame Live, RIT goaltending coach Mike Rotolo will join the program with a scouting report on Game 2 with the Crusaders here tonight. Plus, if you're just joining us, it was a frustrating night for the Tigers to say the least on Friday. We'll look back on the record-setting night next as our coverage continues on your home for Tiger hockey. You're watching Pregame Live on the RIT Sports Network.
Stewart popping back up top. A lot of traffic in front here. Fukakusa. Stick handling his way in. Shot! Oh, yes! How did that get through? We'll see who gets the credit. It's 3-1.
I like the little screen here by Simon Isabel.
It's going to be wild on the deflection, John.
All right, right back in it, Gino. You're starting to feel good about yourself again if you're a Tigers fan.
Well, 3-on-2 the other direction is Stockfish as McClinsky. This is their line. Holy Cross looking to answer Stockfish. Nobody picking him up and scores.
See, that can't happen.
That's.
I mean, defensively, they've been a mess in this opening period.
Boy, Holy Cross, can they go up here by 4 in the first period? Oliphant over to the far side. So this penalty will carry over to the second period, of course. Not releasable. Gillette in front. Far side, Oliphant, Gillette wide open net.
Yep, wide open net.
He's got the hat trick. It's 5-1. Heinke hanging out on the near side. That's number 7. Seriously, Will Ellis, his 3rd of the season. Ahead comes Gillette. Crossing into the Tiger zone, still with it and scores. That's his 4th. It's now 9-1.
Oof is right as the Crusaders went on to a 9-2 victory. The 7-goal margin of victory ties a Holy Cross program record. And while RIT leads the overall series, look at the league championships below. Crusaders haven't won since 2006, but there's no question that drought could end this season with this team, what we've seen from them, especially as of late. Well, it's not often you see the Tigers on the wrong end of a 9-2 game like we did last night. In fact, RIT hadn't given up 9 goals in a game in 7 years. As we welcome in John and Gene. And guys, the 5-minute major on Xavier Lapointe was a massive game changer. But as we discussed last night, the game really seemed to unravel when Holy Cross went up 4-1 as the effort just not there on the defensive end.
Oh, Kevin, yeah, at least you have another day to try to get this back to where it should be. As we're happy to be joined ringside by the goaltending coach and a guy who certainly knows about Tiger pride, Mike Rotolo. Mike, can you give us kind of a sense of what that dressing room is like here this afternoon?
Oh, it's a big bounce back day, right? Obviously, you can't really dwell on the past anymore. It was a tough night last night. Obviously, you don't want to come in here in your home crowd and put up 9 against you. So you got to just kind of rebound, bounce back, and you got to put a better effort out tonight.
Mike, I don't know if you've ever experienced something like that, going back to your playing days and put yourself into the skates of Kuba and Ethan David, how they were feeling, not getting a whole lot of support in front of them, but take me back to when you were playing and what was the message the next night if you ever went through a game like this?
Well, yeah, going through that is obviously tough, and you go through it as a team, right? It's obviously not on one guy. Our goalies as a whole could have done a better job defensively. Offensively, we could have done a lot better. So you just really have to turn the page. There's really nothing you can do about last night, so we have to focus on tonight. There's another game at hand, another chance to get points on the board, and, at this point in the year, every point matters, so we really got to come out here strong to start this game.
So coming in relief last night was Ethan David. He's going to get the call tonight.
Yep.
Mike, tell us a little bit about Ethan. What do you expect here tonight?
Oh, I expect a really solid night from him. Ethan is the ultimate competitor. If you ever get a chance to see him in practice, he's out there early. He's out there late. He'll take one-timers. You know, he just loves to compete, and that's what he brings every time he's in the crease. So I'm excited for him to get the nod here tonight, and we look forward to a good performance.
Mike, I'm sure the message was just, let's play smart. You can't take 14 penalties
Correct.
and expect to win any type of game, for that matter.
Oh, absolutely. And if, any hockey fan, you watch that first 10, 15 minutes, 5-on-5, we were playing really well. We had 4 or 5 grade A scoring chances, and then the wheels kind of fell off with the 5-minute major. You start the second, penalty after penalty after penalty, and when you're on the kill for 28 to 30 minutes a night, especially against a good team like Holy Cross, you're likely never going to win those games.
All right, I'm happy for you. You're an Eagle fan. How much do they win by tomorrow, Mike?
Oh.
2 scores.
2 scores.
2 scores. Go Birds.
All right, Mike.
Go Saquon Barkley, Mike.
Yep, Penn
That's
State
right.
alum.
There we go.
There we go.
Thanks, buddy.
Common
Thanks,
ground.
guys.
Mike Rotolo, former goaltender, RIT
Yes.
coach, and known Eagle fan. As we take a look at our players to watch here tonight, and in the highlights there, John Gillette had 3 goals entering last night, 4 goals last night.
He
against
was
the Tigers.
unstoppable. He was everywhere. 4 goals last night. I mean, listen, he's not even their best player. We've been talking about McClinsky. It was the John Gillette show last night. Let's see what kind of encore performance he can put on tonight. But this is a really, really solid hockey team. Very impressed with Holy Cross.
And for the RIT Tigers, not in the lineup tonight. And truthfully, I don't know if he's 100%, but you got to try something. First time this calendar year, Gustav Blum in the lineup.
Yeah, he hurt his knee back in late December in their game against Bowling Green. At this point, they need somebody to step up and help at the blue line. They get somebody who's logged a lot of ice time over his career, but he has been out well over a month. Let's see what kind of effort Bloom can give Wayne Wilson, because let's face it, they need some sort of effort on that blue line. There's no question about it.
Kevin, it is a new day. Looking forward to this one coming up at 5:05.
All right, guys, we will see you then when we return on Pregame Live. We'll tell you how you can get your hands on a game-worn pink jersey and help a great cause in the process. That is next. You're watching Pregame Live on the RIT Sports Network. Back here on Pregame Live, the Crusaders looking to complete this series and season sweep of the Tigers tonight while also trying to secure their 8th straight victory. Just a reminder that after tonight, we will be back with you on Friday when American International comes to town for the final time. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Pregame Live, followed by face-off between the Tigers and Yellow Jackets at 7:05 on Flow Hockey and the New England Sports Network. Of course, you can join us here at the Policini Center, too. Tickets are available right now for the Tigers' final 4 games. You can grab your seats by calling or visiting the Policini Center box office or online anytime at RITtickets.com. Well, it is Make the Rink Pink Night here at RIT as the athletic department and hockey programs have teamed up with Zeta Tau Alpha to raise money for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Head to RITathletics.com/auctions right now to make your bid on any men's or women's hockey player's game-worn jersey. The women's team will wear their pink jerseys on Valentine's Day against Penn State. The auction closes on Friday, February 21st at 7 o'clock. Make sure you get your bids in now. Don't forget that you still have time to vote for college hockey's best player as well. Both Tyler Fukakusa and Matthew Wild have been nominated for the prestigious Hobie Baker Award. Fukakusa leads the Tigers with 28 points, while Matthew Wild leads RIT with 14 goals. Fan voting underway now through March 9th, so place your vote at hobiebaker.com/vote. Well, that'll do it for Pregame Live. John and Gene will have all the action for you, and I'll see you back here for the intermission report. Until then, enjoy the game. RIT Holy Cross is next on the RIT Sports Network.